Entrepreneurs, welcome back to another episode of the Inner Power Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Dr. Amanda, and you're in the right place if you're a growth-minded entrepreneur who is ready to get aligned with your inner power to get what you want in your life and business. I'm all about helping you understand how to access your zone of genius, your inner power, your confidence, drop imposter syndrome, fear, doubt, uncertainty, procrastination, all the things that keep you stuck as an entrepreneur and not getting where you want to go. And I'm really excited about today's episode because we are focusing on the 4 zones of business scaling that lead to your zone of manifestation success. And I'm going to walk you through this roadmap to detect where you are in the zones. So there are 4 zones that I'm going to lay out. I'm going to give you the symptoms of each zone and then the action steps to move forward to get to zone 4, which is called your zone of manifestation. This is where all the awesomeness happens. This is where you become a money magnet. You're doing things you love. Your time feels like it's flowing. Opportunities are coming your way with ease and joy, and you're scaling in a way that feels controllable. You understand what to expect, and you're able to really grow in a flowing way. So this is where we all want to get our zone of manifestation. So I want to walk through the 4 zones, and I want you to be thinking about, where am I on this roadmap? And if you want to print out what I'm talking about today, go to innerpowerdaily.com/zone of manifestation roadmap. innerpowerdaily.com/zone of manifestation roadmap. And of course, if you are on the podcast, you can look at the description. The link is there. You can just click right there, download this roadmap. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it as I'm talking about it. And you can also go to the description and get the link there for today's episode. I love to teach. I love to give you actionable strategies, and I love for you to have an outline. So if you're a visual person, you could watch this on YouTube, and or if you're listening on the podcast, you could download the PDF form so that you can see every zone and really detect and determine where you're at. Someday I'll probably build a quiz for this, but for now, just listen along and you'll be able to easily identify which zone you're in. I wouldn't be surprised if you're in zone 2 because it's where 80% of entrepreneurs stay stuck. So let's outline these zones so that you can understand where you are on the zone of manifestation business scaling roadmap. All right, so I'm going to give you an overview of the 4 zones and then we'll break each one down. So zone number 1 is called the Manic-Imposter Zone. Zone number 2 is the Overdeliver and Undercharge Zone. And like I said, this is where 80% of entrepreneurs are stuck and can stay stuck here forever. We don't want that for you. We want you to get to zone 3 and 4. So zone 3 is the Value Yourself More Zone. And zone 4 is the ultimate awesome zone called the Zone of Manifestation. This is where you become very joy-filled about building your business. It gets easy and you become a money magnet. So this is where we all want to be. So let's break down the different symptoms. I think of these as symptoms of each zone, and then how to take action to get to the next zone. So in zone number 1, when you are in the manic imposter zone, you're going to be noticing things like this. Your mindset belief is, I am bursting with excitement and ideas about building my business, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm sure that if you're past this zone, you can look back and go, oh yeah, I've been there. I know for me, when I was stuck in this zone, it was like up all night with ideas, just so excited and thinking about all the awesomeness that was going to happen in my business to the point where I couldn't sleep. And it's all, I just like ate, breathed, slept, business and entrepreneurship. It's all I could talk about. And it was an exciting feeling. And I also had a lot of imposter syndrome. So that's why I call it the manic imposter zone. You've got this mania mixed with, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this makes sense because when you're on a learning curve, you're always going to have some imposter syndrome. Now, when I say this, you might go, no, I don't feel imposter syndrome. But what I want you to think about is it's just this stage where you have moments of doubt, you second guess yourself, and you sit and go, I'm not totally sure what I'm doing. Now, this is going to plague some people more than others. Some people get really stuck in imposter syndrome where they feel inadequate and always doubting and beating themselves up with this loud inner critic voice. So there's a spectrum of imposter syndrome. Then there's this part, let's say you're on the higher end of the spectrum where you're not so stuck in imposter syndrome. That's where you're going to go, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. And we want to get there so that we can move to the next zone. Be okay if you have some imposter syndrome going on. It's totally normal to start something new and not know what you're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing when they start something new. Think about it as a new sport. If you pick up a new sport, let's say, I'll give you an example for me. When I started running, I remember the first time I went on a mile run with my friend around this lake, and it was like flat dirt path. And after a mile, I was dying. And I was like, I was planning to run a marathon, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Like, what? 1 mile and I got to run 26.3. And then I just kept learning. I started reading books about running, and we started talking about running, and I started training. And then I eventually did a trail marathon at high altitude, and it was great. So, well, when I say it was great, I finished it. I don't ever want to do one again. And I'm glad I did it. And I mastered the learning curve, right? Like I was able to complete the race. Now, with our businesses, you're going to be on a lot of learning curves, and they are going to elicit some imposter syndrome. This is okay. I've seen this time and time again. When you start a business, you have a lot of mania. When you start a new program, there's also some mania, and there's also imposter syndrome. So you'll move through this faster if you have already built businesses or you've already launched something successful. You'll move through this zone faster, but I see people go through it every time they do something new. Even when I rebranded from NFA Money to to Inner Power Daily, I noticed some imposter syndrome, and I was like, oh, I haven't experienced this in a while. And I realized, well, I'm just back in zone one. I didn't stay there for very long because I've now built a successful business already. And the rebrand is almost like building another business, but I move through these zones much more quickly. So just start considering, am I in this zone? Am I feeling some mania mixed with some imposter syndrome? You're also going to be getting inconsistent results in this zone where even though you're taking massive action, you're learning a lot, you're not getting a ton of consistent results yet because you're learning, you're growing, you're experimenting, you're breaking down to learn, you're having a lot of, I was going to say struggle. It feels like a struggle if you stay stuck in the fighting against it. If you just know you're in this zone, you can let go of the struggle and not resist, and then you'll move through it more quickly. So it can feel like a struggle. It doesn't need to feel like a struggle, but if you're gripping tightly and feeling impatient and going, oh my God, I'm frustrated because I have this unrealistic expectation that I'm going to have overnight success, but I'm not experiencing that, you're going to create resistance. And remember, resistance is the number one reason that you don't manifest quickly. So if you're in that place and you're struggling, let go of resistance and just go, hey, I'm in Manic-Imposter Zone. That's okay. That's where I'm at the beginning stage of building a business. And in this zone, you're also spending more money than you're making. And typically, and I want you to move out of that as fast as possible, because as entrepreneurs, we want to be as high ROI as possible and profitable as fast as possible, because that keeps you flowing and growing and inspired and feeling good. So I don't want you to be dumping money and not getting results, because it's going to make you feel discouraged. So be aware that in this zone, you're likely spending more money than you're making, but that's not going to last forever. These are the action steps to start to move from the manic imposter zone to zone number 2, which is the overdeliver and undercharge zone. So take these action steps if you are in the manic imposter zone. First, you want to have a mindset reframe. And this is where you go, okay, I'm committed to doing daily learning to reduce my imposter syndrome doubts and build my confidence as an entrepreneur. So this is very much a confidence building zone if you choose for it to be, where you go, okay, I know that confidence comes from practicing and getting better over time. It's not something that just magically happens instantly because I got to grow and learn, just like the example of me doing the running. It would have been so unrealistic for me to go out on that first mile and go, I'm going to kill a marathon immediately in a couple weeks. Like, no way. It doesn't work that way. Business doesn't work that way either. So commit to doing daily learning to reduce your imposter syndrome and build your confidence as an entrepreneur. Your top 3 priorities in this zone, and I would say now, if you're in this zone and for the remainder of your business, these are your top 3 priorities. daily lead gen is number one. And I want you to pick 2 strategies that work. And in this zone, when you're pre 6 figures, I want you to do organic only. It doesn't make sense to pay for ads because you don't have brand awareness yet and you don't really know what you're doing. And so you're going to be wasting money if you pay for ads. So this is organic. You're doing organic daily lead gen. Things like networking, interacting on social media. And when I say interacting, I'm not just talking about posting, I'm talking about interacting and engaging with your ideal clients. And you could be doing calls, and you're doing real direct outreach to get clients in the door, clients and customers. Number 2, you're going to work with new clients and get killer results. Whatever business model you have, you're going to be bringing in new customers and clients, and you're going to be getting them awesome results so that you can start to have their client testimonials to attract other people for referrals, for you being able to show that you have good results with people. So that is your goal. You want to get new clients in the door through your daily lead gen and then work with them and get them awesome results. Number 3, start with daily content creation. And I want you to minimize your focus. So you're going to choose one marketing outlet, meaning a blog, a podcast, or YouTube. Could be a newsletter also. Blog, I kind of count in that category. Could be a regular newsletter where you go, okay, I'm going to keep bringing people to my newsletter and I'm going to write a newsletter every single day. Or it's a podcast where you start doing episodes like I have, or a YouTube channel. And then you're going to choose one social media platform to share what you're doing. Okay, that could be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Clubhouse. I know there are several. Those are the main ones I can think of. And I want you to start with the ones that you enjoy the most. Okay. So minimize, don't do it all. Don't make the mistake I made, which in the beginning, I thought I needed to be everywhere on everything. And it caused me to not get super great at any of them. I got some results, but they were definitely more scattered than if I had just narrowed my focus. So choose one of the networking platforms or marketing platforms, blog, podcast, YouTube. And the way to choose this is, what do you enjoy doing the most? What do you listen to the most already? Which platforms are you most interested in? Are you a reader? Then do a blog or a newsletter. Are you a listener? Do you like podcasts? Then do a podcast. Are you watching YouTube all the time? Do YouTube. That's the way I would make that decision. And then post what you're doing on social media and be interactive. This is you creating value, and this is you starting to build your social media platform. Don't rely on the social media to bring you business unless you're super strategic about it. A lot of people in this manic imposter zone think I'll post some posts and people will come flocking my way. And it doesn't work like that. I don't want you to freak out and get impatient and frustrated when you go, oh my God, but I made a post and only 2 people saw it. And what am I going to do now? Posting on social media is not a direct strategy. So you've got to do the daily lead gen by talking to people and interacting in a direct way. Okay. The next action step you're going to be doing is doing daily mindset growth learning, I would say. This is things like listening to this podcast, getting on YouTube and watching videos, doing everything you can related to mindset mastery. Okay. So you're learning about confidence, you're learning about business scaling, you're learning about money mindset, imposter syndrome, fears, you're learning systems to build your business. Everything you can to tap into the power of an entrepreneur mindset is what you want to be doing in this stage and from this day forward. If you aren't already doing this, I have an incredible program made just for this because I know how important it is. And it's what's gotten me all the success, is starting with a daily morning routine where you learn, journal, and meditate. So if you haven't checked out my program yet, it's called Inner Power Daily Membership. And it's for you to have a 15-minute morning routine that is guided, specific to entrepreneurs on entrepreneurial topics that are going to help you take it to the next level. So just go to my website. You'll find it there, innerpowerdaily.com, innerpowerdaily.com. Awesome morning routine. People in there are killing. I just had somebody message me and say, I closed 2 deals since starting this program, and he had only been in there for a couple weeks. So really cool stuff going on. And there's a free trial, 7-day free trial. So no risk to you. You can check it out. Okay. That's part of daily mindset growth. Also, take online courses, go to workshops, do everything you can to saturate your brain with a high level mindset. And then find a coach to help you break through your unconscious blocks. This would be me. I am a master at this. Everything I teach is about you accessing your inner power, getting aligned, dropping your fear and resistance, any unconscious blocks that are holding you back, procrastination problems, things like that. I'm a master at this. So anything that you would do with me is going to help you with that. Of course, I'm not the only person out there. There's all kinds of awesome resources. So if you resonate with me, awesome, come hang out and work with me. If you resonate more with someone else, go work with them. It doesn't have to be me. Just make sure that you are strategically doing daily mindset growth work, because that is the core of all of your success. Remember, I always say your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you don't like what you're getting on the outside, change what's within. That's mindset growth work. And you want to be doing it every single day from here on out. Okay, so those are the action steps for you to start to shift from zone 1, the Manic-Imposter Zone, to zone 2, the Overdeliver and Undercharge Zone. Now, this is most likely the zone that you are stuck in. This is where I see 80% of entrepreneurs stuck, and they can stay stuck here forever. I've seen entrepreneurs who never get unstuck from this place. I'll talk to them year after year. They're not working with me, and they're just like, hey, I'm still doing this. I'm like, oh my goodness, you don't need to stay stuck there. So I'm going to give you the symptoms of this zone, the overdeliver and undercharge zone, and I'm going to give you action steps to shift out of it, because I don't want you to stay stuck here. And this is where I target everything I do, because this is where I see most people stuck. So everything I create is to help you get out of this zone so that you can get to zone 4, your zone of manifestation. So really pay attention here. The symptoms are that your mindset belief would be, if I help everyone and have tons of offerings and don't charge too much, I'll get a lot of clients. And I'd really focus here on the I help everyone and do everything, really. It's like, if I help everyone and do everything, my business will grow. That's the thinking in the overdeliver and undercharge zone. And the problem here is that you are overwhelmed by imposter syndrome. And so what you do is that you take on too much to try to prove to yourself that you're good at what you do. And you start this overlearning process where you think you've got to learn every single thing and say yes to every opportunity. And it causes you to get really scattered energy and feel exhausted. And I'd say lead to overwhelm. And especially if you stay in this zone for too long, it leads to burnout. And you go, why am I even doing this? And you start wondering, is this even worth it? Am I ever going to succeed? Because you're making very inconsistent income and you're working way too hard for your money. And the other thing that's really important here is that you'll notice you have scattered brand identity. And what that means is that it's just this term I made up because it made sense to me, where it's like, you keep changing your mind about what you're doing and you never get traction in one direction. So you're not really clear who your avatar is. You're not sure who to work with or what you do best. And then every person that comes in the door, you change what you're doing to fit them because you don't have any stability in your brand. And then you can't ever build an expert platform and people don't understand what it is that you do. I definitely struggled with this too. So you're not alone. Most people get stuck here. I just want you to move through it. So I want you to be aware and recognize what the symptoms are of this zone. If you're stuck going, I'm not sure who I help, and I sometimes help people really well. Sometimes I'm not sure. Sometimes I change the pricing of what I offer based on the person because I'm projecting my money beliefs onto them. Sometimes I walk away thinking, oh my God, I didn't charge enough because I gave so much value and it wasn't a high ROI situation. That means you're stuck in this zone. If you aren't good at negotiating, you're stuck in this zone. If you tend to be afraid of sales and selling, and you're afraid that you're a sleazy sales jerk, you're probably stuck in this zone. So those are a lot of the symptoms of being stuck in the over deliver and undercharge zone. You're just working too hard for your money and you don't feel like an expert. So you're still stuck in imposter syndrome and you have scattered brand identity and you're changing it up a lot. Okay, so the action steps to start to shift out of this zone are that you need to practice the mindset reframe. I am ready and willing to narrow my focus, increase my prices, and get better at negotiation. So you're going to narrow your focus, increase prices, and get better at negotiation. Let's say you're not a service-based, like you're not a coach type entrepreneur, so you can't increase your package price. Let's say you're like a real estate investor or a real estate agent or something along those lines where you're not really pricing your packages. This then would look like you getting better at negotiation and attracting higher caliber clients and customers so that you can go more into the valuing yourself more zone, which is the next zone. So if you're thinking like, oh, well, undercharge, I don't really set my prices like that. Think more about this as it's that you're overworking and getting underpaid. So that would be where you're stuck. So what you want to do to shift is choose only one focus. That's what narrow your focus means. Narrow your focus to expand your freedom. Narrow your focus to expand your energy. Narrow your focus to expand your financial freedom. Narrow your focus to get better results. Scattered energy leads to scattered results. Focused energy leads to focused results. So what this could look like is you could narrow to one program, product, or service, narrow to down your niche, and this will help you break through to 6 figures plus faster. This helps you build your expert platform, start to build and increase your brand identity. It helps you niche down a little bit and get clearer about who it is that you serve powerfully. And this means you can charge more and or attract higher caliber clients or higher paying clients, let's say, because you're clear, they're clear. They're buying your confidence and your certainty, and they know what it is you stand for, which also makes it easier for them to refer you out because they're like, hey, you got to go to Dr. Amanda for this. She is the mindset master who will help you scale your business, feel really good, get into your zone of genius, make more money, and drop your fear, your doubt, and your uncertainty. People know that about me, so they can refer me. If I was all over the place, let's say one day I was like, oh, I'm all about helping. I'm so focused. I can't even think of something else that I would do because I'm so focused on those things. Let's say all of a sudden I started saying I added like a fitness branch to my business or something. Like, yes, I talk about personal power and optimization of yourself. So it includes physical health. But what if all of a sudden I started talking a whole bunch about like doing push-ups and fitness? Like that would be so scattered. People would go like, wait a second, I thought you were a mindset coach. I thought you helped people, entrepreneurs, with manifestation. So, I've pivoted my brand a few times, but I've always focused on the same expert areas of help. So even in the latest rebrand I did, it's still focusing on the same issues for my people. I've gone from focusing on men and women differently, and I still focus on the same expert areas. And so the longer you can stay consistent in that, and the more you can develop your expertise in those areas, the more brand identity you will establish, the faster you will scale. So consider, if you're stuck in this zone, how to narrow your focus and refine your products and offerings to be more streamlined so that you can build that expert platform. Treat it like a business in this zone. You got to start treating it like a business, track everything. And you want to ask yourself, is the time and money that I'm spending getting the expected results? If not, you need to drop, automate, and delegate. And I want you to start this list where you start dreaming about, what am I going to drop? Let go of things that don't matter. What am I going to automate? And how am I going to delegate? Start thinking in those ways. That's how high power entrepreneurs, high power CEO mindset works. If you're treating your business like a business and not a hobby, you got to start tracking and paying attention to your profitability, which means you got to look at your ROI. What program is working and why is it working? And do I have a lead gen system? How is that working? You're going to continue to do the top 3 priorities from number 1, right? So you're going to go back up and look at number 1, the top 3 priorities that you're doing every day. And you're going to keep doing those. And then, of course, you're going to keep doing daily mindset growth work. This will help you get to zone number 3. So hear this. If you're in zone number 3, this is the value yourself more zone. In this zone, number 3, you're going to be thinking, I'm no longer willing to work this hard. I surrender. I gotta up my value. I've got to value myself more and free up time. Okay. So in this stage, you're going like, oh my God, I surrender. I cannot work this hard. I choose not to work this hard anymore. I got to value myself more and make more money because I'm burnt out and I'm tired of being in the over-deliver undercharge zone. And so this is that place where you're at this crossroads of where you could give up, or you can go, I value myself more. And you're going to start to shift and do these things that I share with you. So other things you'll be feeling if you're stuck in the value yourself more zone is that you are starting to own your values. So you're starting to understand who you serve the best and what you enjoy doing. So this is zone of genius. You're starting to go, oh, I'm figuring out my fingerprint, my zone of genius, what the value I bring to the world. I'm feeling clearer. My brand identity is starting to get narrower and more focused, which means you have better expert positioning and brand clarity. And people are starting to identify with you that way. They start to associate like, oh, I go here for this because he or she is an expert at this, right? This means you get to charge more, which of course is going to lead to income stabilizing and growing, and you feeling like less of an imposter and way less overwhelmed. So when you start to create time optimization in this zone because you're valuing yourself more, you're going to realize that delegation is key. You're going to start delegating away. I always say, drop the shit you hate, delegate. Like, stop doing the stuff you don't enjoy doing, delegate it away. Drop the things that aren't getting results and automate with systems. All of this is going to help you become more of a time master so that you can move from this zone into the next. So here are some action steps to take. You're first going to do a mindset reframe. If you're stuck in zone 3, you're going to say to yourself, I am in the process of owning my value. I'll charge more and drop, automate, or delegate everything away that's not aligned with doing exactly what I love to do. So this is where you're starting to really refine your zone of genius. If you don't know what that means and you don't know how to identify it, hang out with me, come work with me, because I will teach you how to know your zone of genius and make money doing things from your zone of genius. And then you're going to use your drop, automate, delegate dream list that you created in your zone 2, right? So you're going to go, okay, I'm going to write down everything that I do in a week. And I'm going to a week, a month, however long you want to track a week would work. And next to that item, you're going to go, is this essential? If it's not, I'm dropping it. Is it aligned? And do I need to do it? If I don't, drop it. If I do need to do it, but I don't enjoy it, I'm going to delegate. Okay. I'm going to delegate everything I can on this list of things that I'm doing that I don't enjoy doing or that I'm not a genius at. And then if it's something that you could automate, like a nurture email sequence, or even your time blocking is an automation system. It's your schedule is telling you what to do with your time so that you're efficient with your time, which is an automated system. So you're going to start doing everything you can to drop, automate, and delegate. And then you're going to continue doing the top 3 priorities and refining and optimizing your time doing these. In this stage, you're going to start to develop brand power. So you're going to own your unique expertise and start charging expert prices. So in this value yourself more zone, you're going to up level your prices. You're going to start charging what you're worth. You're going to start building more confidence and having that reflected back at you by even attracting different types of people into your business who are willing to pay more because you've changed from within, and now you're attracting different types of customers and clients. And of course, continue to do your daily mindset growth work. That is the core of all of your success, daily mindset growth work. And I would say, when we think about inner power alignment, that's daily mindset growth. You're getting aligned with your beliefs, your thoughts, and your feelings so that you can then attract through your state of being. And that is where you get to start to get into zone number 4. So this is like the gold mine zone. If I had like some sounds, I'm sure I could add them, but let's pretend for now I have some like bell sounds, some fairy sounds, some like you've hit the jackpot sounds where you're like, yes, I've made it to zone number 4, the zone of manifestation. This is where you feel the most joy and you become a money magnet. So it's the money magnet zone, because you start to go, oh my God, it's finally working. People are coming my way. I'm enjoying my business and I'm making more money. Yes, 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 right? You have bamboo growth occurring where all of a sudden you've been nurturing for years your business, sometimes years. This could take longer, shorter for some, but let's say it's years. And all of a sudden you have this exponential, huge growth in a short period of time because you've laid the foundation and you've been nurturing your system, your mindset, your clients, your business like a baby for years. And all of a sudden you have this exponential growth. So that's bamboo growth, right? You're doing what you enjoy with your time and you're easily attracting clients and customers and opportunities your way. So because you're doing what you enjoy, because you now have brand identity, because you're feeling confident and clear, because you know who you help and serve well, you start to become an attractor magnet for easy money making. People know who you are. They come to you. You get referrals. You get offers in your email. You get all kinds of opportunities because you're so clear. You're so aligned. You're so in your zone of genius. This makes your money exponentially grow. And this is where you just feel awesome because you've delegated away the stuff you don't enjoy. You've used automated systems. You now have predictability in how to scale because you know what works and what doesn't. You've dropped all the stuff that you don't enjoy doing. You've dropped all the things in your business that are bringing you stress. And so you're focusing, you're narrowing your focus, and you are clear about your brand, and people are clear about your brand, and you start to become a magnet for success. This is such an awesome place to be. What are some action steps once you get to this zone? These are the action steps to start to play with. And I'll explain why, because you don't necessarily stay in this zone forever. And this is where you can also experience sabotage issues. You can really experience those at every level, but I'm going to tell you the specific ones here, because once you get here, most people would think, why would I ever leave my zone of manifestation? But I'll tell you some of the things to look for. So your mindset focus in this zone to stay here is to continue to have your mindset focused on, I love living in my zone of manifestation, making easy money, doing what I love as a master of myself and my time. So here you're really mastering yourself. You're really stepping into inner power entrepreneurship. You're waking up, you're doing what it takes to be high vibe. You're attracting easily, and you're increasing your money flow and your magnetism. Your number one focus from here on out is to bring value to your people through your aligned energy and offerings. And this is because you're using high ROI use of your time. You're like, okay, I'm spending time in my zone of genius. I'm working less. I'm making more. I'm having fun. And by that work less, you're playing because you're doing stuff you enjoy. You've delegated away the stuff you don't enjoy. You're doing things that increase your energy, and you're dropping things that decrease your energy. And you want to be considering that every day. Is this thing I'm doing raising my energy? Then keep doing it. Is this thing draining my energy? Then drop, automate, delegate. Okay. The challenge here, like I said, is to challenge shiny object syndrome, because what I've seen can happen to people here is they get successful and then they self-sabotage because all of a sudden things are flowing, they're systematized, they're growing, and they run into their upper limit problems where all of a sudden they do something unconsciously to sabotage their success. What this could look like is all of a sudden they go, oh, I got to revamp everything. Or they don't stop and slow down to ask, like, who could I enhance what I already have, or, just tweak something a little bit instead of redoing it. Or sometimes people will get into like accidents or hire people that take a lot of money. Like I've had people do this where they hire someone who steals money. And it's like, ooh, you're in an issue of self-sabotage. The reason for this is because in our zone of manifestation, it triggers this experience of I'm so happy and things are so easy and I'm flowing. And all of a sudden, these money block beliefs of like, oh, I'm not really supposed to make money in easy ways because people have told me that that's not good. So it could be like your money block is money is the root of all evil, or you have a money block belief that money causes stress. So all of a sudden you're not stressed making money, and it triggers your subconscious to be like, get back to this comfortable place where we're feeling stressed to make money and where other people aren't judging us negatively for making too easy of money. So be very conscious at this stage. Again, hire a coach who's good at detecting these things, someone like me, to help you stay high vibe and not self-sabotage. And that's really true of every stage. I'm just giving you the really specific ones here to be able to stay in your zone of manifestation. Challenge shiny object syndrome. Don't think that you need to like pivot and do something completely different. Just see what you can tweak and enjoy what you've created. Never forget the importance of your growth journey. Keep doing your daily growth work, because this is what got you to the zone of manifestation. Woo! Okay. Don't forget, or remember, better stated, remember to go download this roadmap so you can detect which zone you're in and get the action steps to be sure that you're moving forward and staying in your zone of manifestation. So just go to innerpowerdaily.com/zone of manifestation roadmap. And you can download this PDF so that you can see clearly where you're at, and remember how important it is to get help. I'm here for you. I love teaching this stuff. I'm sure you can tell. I could, I'm having to control myself. I'm like, do a shorter episode, because numbers are showing that these episodes that are shorter get more downloads. And I'm also like, oh my goodness, I could I could talk to you about this for hours. I love this stuff. I love helping you optimize yourself. So be sure to check out what I offer, because I have a couple of offerings that are awesome that help you scale your business from your zone of genius, from your inner power in ways that you enjoy, that feel really good. And I have offerings for different stages of businesses and things that are at different price points dependent on the level that you're at. So just go to workwithdramanda.com if you're interested in checking out how to work with me. I would love to work with you. If you're listening to this and this is resonating, I would love to help you be successful in your business. Ooh, don't know where that came from. I would love to help you be successful in your business and really enjoy the process and get to zone number 4. So let me recap as we close. Zone number 1 is your Manic-Imposter Zone. Zone number 2 is the Overdeliver and Undercharge Zone. It's most likely where you're stuck, because that's where I see most entrepreneurs get stuck. Number 3 is the Value Yourself More Zone. And number 4 is the Zone of Manifestation. And that's where we all want to play every day, in our zone of manifestation, because that's where it gets fun, easy, joy-filled, where you get to work less, make more, and have fun as an inner power entrepreneur. All right. Thanks so much for being here with me. Can't wait to hear where you're at on the map. And I look forward to getting to work with you to get you to zone number 4 and keep you there. Until next time, I'm sending you hugs and inner power high fives.